One other thing that's really important to consider is the binding death nomination. Binding death nomination is really important. Superannuation does not sit within your will. It's not part of your estate. So it's important that you direct the trustee of your super fund where to direct your superannuation assets, your money within your super fund. There are a couple of different ways of doing that. You could you have no nomination at all, and the trustee basically decides on your behalf. You can have a non-binding nomination or a preferred nomination, and that basically says to the trustee, I would prefer it to go to X, but ultimately you've got the final call. You can make what they call a binding nomination, and that's valid for 3 years, which binds the trustee to pay it to where you specify. So generally what we recommend is that you set that up to go to your spouse, and if you haven't got, who's a financial dependent, if you haven't got any financial dependents, then generally it's best to make it out to your estate, and so then the money's directed through your estate, and your will specify where it should go. So that's generally how that should be set up. And I was speaking to a lawyer last week, and he was saying that there was a case where a binding death nomination was actually not followed. But you're going to have a greater probability of your preferences being followed if you have a binding death nomination in place than if you don't. It was a specific scenario that didn't occur. You're going to be in a better position by having that binding death nomination in place. There's a form that you can simply fill out, have 2 witnesses sign it that aren't the beneficiaries, the witnesses that can't be a beneficiary as well, and forward it into the fund, and it's easily set up and valid for 3 years.